So I woke up this morning and I checked the news because I do a news show. So I decided to check the news this morning, and I woke up, and and after I woke up, I was bombarded with headlines like this. Okay, check this out. When Japanese balloons threatened American skies during World War II. So keep in mind, I wake up. I did a lot of drugs yesterday, so I'm in a little bit of a haze. Um, and so I'm gonna, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did a nuke go off or something? Why are we talking about like fucking World War II? And then I remember, oh right, the balloon bullshit. Oh yeah, that's like, so apparently the entire mainstream media is just like they're literally trying to like start a war because of a fucking balloon. Like, okay, all right. A menacing balloon from Asia. I love menacing and Asia in the same sentence there. Really makes me feel like we've advanced a lot since 1944. A menacing balloon from Asia floated in the skies over Montana. The year was 1944. The balloon, with a small incendiary bomb attached, drifted down to a forested area near Kalispell, Montana, crumpling into a heap. Two loggers found it there in December 1944. The FBI and the Army Air Force arrived to study the strange contraption, 33 and 1/2 feet wide, made of laminated paper. Writing on the balloon told them it was Japanese and had been completed a few weeks earlier at a Japanese. Like, yo, okay, history lesson. I'm down with history lessons, okay? I love history. But like, what's the point here? Like whenever someone's trying to tell you something about history, typically there's a point. What is the point here? That there's balloons in the sky? Like, that's the point of the story. Let's keep going. The U.S. Office of Censorship had asked journalists not to report on the balloon bomb incidents so that the Japanese would not know they had successfully reached the U.S. mainland, and their request was honored. But after the deaths in Oregon, the War Department issued a because we used to have a War Department. I love that, by the way. By then, Japan had stopped launching balloons, though they continued to be found in and over the United States through the summer. Because of the news blackout in the United States, the Japanese did not know the results of the balloon attacks. Now, keep in mind, this is no internet. But again, I ask you, what is the point of the story? Why now, of all times, are we learning about the history of balloon attacks in this country? Right? Like, what is the point of doing this now, of all times, right? I'm not sure. The balloon's paths were subject to the vagaries of the wind, making them very hard to control. Yeah, I mean, isn't that the fucking point? But anyway, so we have this story. One attempt to take down a balloon went particularly awry. This week, with attention to the suspected Chinese spy balloon over the United States, the U.S. Naval Institute posted on Facebook when the USS New York was sailing towards Iwo Jima in 1945, the crew spotted a silver sphere flying high overhead that seemed to follow the battleship for hours. Concerned that the shiny orb might be a Japanese balloon weapon, the captain ordered it to be shot down. After the guns failed to score a hit, a navigator realized they were attacking Venus. Yo, that's funny as fuck. But okay. Now, what I learned from that story is these motherfuckers are dumb as hell. That's what I learned from that story. But why are we learning about this? What's happening? Oh, balloons almost blew our shit up in 1944? What's happening here? All right, so let's switch over to this. Now, this is on Fox News. Chinese spy balloon is a Sputnik moment for America. This is an opinion piece by Representative Michael Waltz. Like Sputnik, the Chinese spy balloon has drastically changed Americans' sense of security. Now, I'm speaking on behalf of all Americans here. No one's sense of security has been altered in any capacity by this. Like, I'm just letting everyone know. Anybody who's like, America's unsecure because of the balloon, they're thinking America's unsecure because of the border. Like, they're thinking America's unsecure because we elected a Democratic president. Like, these people are fucking stupid anyway, right? So, but why is it that mainstream media is just printing all of these bizarre stories here? But let's read what Representative Michael Waltz has to say. In 1957, again with this fucking shit, the sense of security in the United States had come to accept after America's victory in World War II drastically changed. The NBC radio broadcast on the night of October 4 told its audience, quote, "Listen now for the sound that forevermore separates the old from the new," as the sound of the Sputnik satellite came through the airwaves. The moment didn't just signify a groundbreaking technological achievement, with the launch of the first satellite into orbit. It also conveyed to the rest of the world that the Soviet Union was outpacing the United States. Now again, I see Sputnik. Now again, I was not alive in 1957, but I see that shit and I'd be like, oh shit, that's cool. We're going into space, motherfucker. Right? But then Americans are fucking stupid psychopathic freaks and they're like, what do you mean we're going into space? The Russians did it. Like, bro, what the fuck? Human beings have never been into space before, and you're making this shit about racism? Like, like what? Like, but again, Americans are dumb, and so is the world. But Americans are still dumb. This is what why are we reading articles about, like, spy balloons in the 40s? Why fucking balloon Sputniks in the 50s? What the fuck are these? Like, do they actually think... Now, I ask you this genuine question. Do Republicans genuinely believe that this balloon is like a watershed moment for politics or something? Is that what they're trying to manifest? Like every American's entire life just changed because a balloon fucking flew through the country? Like, seriously, like this is what it seems like. This is what it seems like. These like warmongering freak shows are like, oh fuck, we can get Americans to support another war. Look, the balloon. What? Like, is this a joke? You know? Like, I'm serious, man. What the fuck? I love this. A silver lining in the Biden administration allowing the Chinese spy balloon to violate our airspace is that the American public has received a similar wake-up call to the brazenness of Chinese... A wake-up call? A wake-up call? Dude, I'm serious, man. We are going through a pandemic where millions of motherfuckers are dropping dead and tens of millions of motherfuckers are becoming disabled for life. And a balloon is going to cause a wake-up call? I got news for you. There is no call. There is no phone connection. And Americans are in comas, okay? No one gives a shit. And if anything is going to wake an American up to the realities of the world, let me tell you, it's not going to be a fucking balloon. Because this shit is fucking bullshit. It doesn't make any fucking sense. A balloon is going to wake America up to do what? Again, what is the point of the... What is the point here? So Americans are woken up? They're woke now? Wait a second. What the fuck? Is this guy saying that Americans are woke? And that's a good thing? I can't believe this, man. Holy shit. They didn't need to send a balloon given their rapidly expanding constellation of spy satellites, but I'm glad they did. It was a very visible symbol of what so many of us had been ringing the alarm bells about for years. But until last week, the magnitude and sheer scale of the Chinese operations were often cleverly hidden behind the scenes. Like, I'm serious though. A balloon. Like, did you see videos of them shooting the balloon down? I woke up, I was on shrooms yesterday. I did a lot of mushrooms. And I decided to check Twitter. Bad idea. Never do that. I always put my phone in airplane mode, but I was on the computer for a moment. I looked at Twitter. And people were, like, sharing videos on Twitter of, like, shooting the balloon down. And, like, I saw this one video of motherfuckers, like, they're cheering. They're going, like, woo! Like, at a balloon being, like, I'm serious, like... China condemns U.S. attack on surveillance balloon as overreaction. Well, I'm sure that China saying, I think you guys are having a little too much fun with this. I'm sure that that's going to alleviate tensions. A balloon. A balloon! I mean, these people are freaking the fuck out over a balloon. I mean, that's, to me, it's impressive. I mean, this is impressive. Okay. China condemned the U.S. military's decision on Saturday to shoot down a suspected Chinese surveillance balloon that flew over the U.S. last week. They shot it down. They shot down the balloon. They shot it down. America. China strongly disapproves of and protests against the U.S. attack on a civilian unmanned airship by force, the Chinese Foreign Ministry said in a statement on Sunday morning, per the South China Morning Post. The U.S.'s use of force is a clear overreaction and a serious violation of international practice, the ministry added, noting that Beijing reserves the right to make further responses that are necessary. Over a balloon. A balloon. American politicians and American media is trying to drum up the war drums over a balloon. A balloon. I'm not even, like... It's a balloon. Like, I really don't know what other commentary is necessary, right? Other than just saying, this is a balloon. Like the entire argument rests on, this is a balloon. Nothing else is required. I don't need evidence. I don't need an argument, right? I don't need witnesses. All I have to do is just say, this is a balloon, and you should immediately understand what the fuck's going on, right? What? You're telling me we're about to go to war over a balloon? We're shooting balloons down, like scientific experiments? Like, is a kid in Canada gonna shoot up a model rocket, and then Americans are gonna shoot that shit down? Like, what the fuck? It's a balloon. It's a balloon. Like, just in case you didn't know, just so we're all on the same page, this is a balloon. A high-altitude surveillance balloon first entered U.S. airspace in Alaska on January 28. After briefly traveling through Canadian airspace, it returned to the U.S. via Idaho on Jan 31. It's almost like borders are made-up garbage. Like, the idea, like, this whole thing is hilarious to me. Like, because, again, borders are made-up garbage. But, like, now, keep in mind, the balloon is just flowing through the jet stream or whatever the fuck. Like, it's just going through the weather, right? They're in Canadian airspace, United States airspace, and then it went to Canada, and then it went back. There is no such thing as Canadian airspace, right? There is no such thing as Canada. There is no such thing as the United States. Like, okay, I'm just asking. Like, are we all just, like, pretending that the magical lines in the sand are, like, giant force fields? You know? Like, you get on my side of the force field. Like, is this a video game? Like, what are we doing here? It's a scientific fucking weather balloon. Like, they're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to do some experiment. And even if they are spying on us, and I don't believe that, by the way, that this balloon is a spy vehicle. They have satellites everywhere. They probably have a back door into all of our cell phones. Why would they need a fucking balloon to spy on the United States? Like, can someone remind me, right? Like, what year it is? Like, in 1944, right? Let's go back to this. When the Japanese, right? In 1944, they did not have satellites. They did not have smartphones. They did not have hackers. So a balloon as either a spying device or a weapon made more sense. Right? What the fuck? Like, I'm serious. In what universe is this a spy balloon? Because it's certainly not this one. I want to know. Which universe? Is this one? They're sending, like, unless, okay, here's an idea. The spy balloon was actually sent by the Chinese in 1812. And then it traveled through, like, a slipstream warp gate and came out in 2023. Right? Because that's the only way I'm going to believe that that's a spy balloon. That's the only possible explanation you could have to give me that would make me go, all right, maybe it's actually a spy balloon. Because why the fuck would it be a spy balloon when they've got satellites and they've got smartphones? Right? Like I'm serious. We got some dumbass motherfuckers here. Beijing confirmed on Friday that the balloon was Chinese, but claimed it was primarily used for meteorological, I always struggle with that word because I have dyslexia, research, and had been blown off course. It had been blown off course? I mean, is there even such a thing as on course when we're talking about the goddamn wind? Like, but okay. The Chinese side regrets the unintended entry of the airship into U.S. airspace. Now, again, two things. Not an airship. Also, there is no such thing as U.S. airspace, but again, okay. Due to the force of mesure, a ministry spokesperson said. However, American officials have maintained that the balloon was surveilling strategic sites within the U.S. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. I didn't even see this shit because I tuned out of the news yesterday. Secretary of State Tony Blinken postponed his trip to Beijing. He postponed the trip. Why? A balloon. This is now a geopolitical incident. A balloon. Yo, U.S. works to recover debris and intelligence. Debris and intelligence from downed Chinese spy balloon. Yo, they're swimming into the ocean to recover, like... I want you to sit with this one, man. Like, this is one of those things where this is what I would consider to call a media circus, right? Every now and then you have an event where the media just don't shut the fuck up, right? And, you know, that happens oftentimes after mass shootings, right? Like the entire Donald Trump presidency. Right, January 6th was a media circus, right? You know, you can say Elon taking over Twitter, that's a media circus. But, like, I have never seen such a profound, like, delta between the story and the circus. Like, this shit is insane. Okay, so fact, data. A weather balloon flew over the United States. Result, every mainstream news article is talking about war with China. Right? This is fucking, like, now if we want to talk about this on the comedy lens, like, we're all nihilists, we're all watching the end of the world, and, you know, if you live in the United States, you got a front row seat to the freak show, right? Then this is great. This is entertaining as fuck. But if we want to talk about this in, like, a lens of analysis of, like, are we going to be able to save the world? Are we going to be able to beat capitalism? Are we going to be able to stop the corporations and end war? And I got news for you. No. Why? Because we're fucking stupid. We're dumb. Humans are dumb. They're dumb motherfuckers. I don't know what to tell you. They're dumb. Okay? Full stop. You know, that's it. Period. They're dumb. Human beings are too fucking stupid. They're just stupid motherfuckers. Like, I don't even know what... Like, this is some crazy ass motherfucking shit. They're fucking trying to get... Jesus... The Chinese Foreign Ministry hit back on the U.S. on Saturday in a statement alleging that some politicians in the media have hyped up the situation in order to attack and smear China. Oh, you don't fucking say. You don't fucking say. So, on this one, I'm going with China. Hey, I'm sorry. Is it anti-American to side with China on the balloon conspiracy? I'd say, I hope it is, because I fucking hate America, but, you know, whatever.